Well, meanwhile, back at the Mustang here, Josh is still trying to get this mesh to work. So it looks like we're going to make a separate panel like we talked about. He's almost done. This will go in here. He's making a panel with a hole in so we can put this through it. Got brake lines showed up. So this is going to go here. I need the wheel so I know how far in we could go, but basically it's going to sit there. This is going to get hooked here like this. We got fittings for that. So we got a holder. We got a fitting. So we could go from the steel line to the steel braided line. Okay, if you want to see what part numbers these are. That these are. Right, All-Star. Came in from Amazon real quick. Got them pretty quick, so that'll be getting put on right now, and then I can run my other lines in from here. I'm gonna put the line lock in and run all my lines, get everything run like that, and we should be good. And then we'll have front brakes done. Rear brakes we'll figure out when we do the rear. All right, so putting this line lock together. So what I'm going to do for now is this one goes to the rear brakes. This one goes to the front brakes. Okay. As per the Strange website. Okay. Drag race cars. This one, they both have the same pressure. One has more volume. Drag race cars, they want this one to the back, this one to the front. Street cars, they want this one to the front, this one to the back. Just in case you're wondering. Okay, so what we got here is, I'll explain something to you here. So this line lock comes with just one plug, right? These are adapters because this, I don't want to take it back out again. Anyway, so you got pipe thread, MPT thread, and then you have 3/16 like that. Okay, steel line. And now what I did was I got one made up steel line to make sure that's what we're using. So it's 3/16. These three fittings I got out of my special drawer. Why? Because these are old they're probably 15 years old, let's say. And I only got a few of these left. Just used 3. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 left over. New ones, you go to the store and get new ones. I don't want to say where they're made. You go to tighten them down, they actually split. So if you tighten them too much, they'll split. And we don't need no leaks on the front brakes or any kind of brakes for that matter. These have a thicker wall. Let me see if I can see it. This has a thicker wall here. Real brass. Probably from when, I don't know. But so I cleaned them up. I put new threads on, new thread sealer on it, right? And we're going to tighten all these down. This is the inlet. If you look at it, it'll say an M. That's for the master cylinder. So the one line's going to go from here down to there. I'm going to mount the line lock right. This already has a hole made here. I'm not going to be drilling more holes. So it's got one hole here, and then whatever it ends up on the other side, that's where it's going to stay. And then we run one line from here to that. One side of this is going to go. One side's going to go to the one front wheel. One side's going to go to the other front wheel. This I'm going to plug. This way I can put fluid in it and bleed everything. For the front, it'll be plugged. Then when we do the back, and you'll have a brake pedal, and then when we do the back, this will already be bled, and then you just gotta continue bleeding to wherever else it ends up. All right, so that's just so you know where it's going. I'm waiting on wheels because I want to mount this line like this. So it's gonna go like this. I just want to make sure this is all gonna clear the wheel, and then this little bracket. Okay, goes on here. This line attaches to the fitting. The other side of the fitting goes to the steel line. So it'll look like that on one side, and number 3-3, and on this side is 3/16 US thread. Okay, with the little holders and the clip and everything. So we're gonna, the other lines from the line lock to each wheel, we're gonna make up. You know, you just get a roll of this stuff. You could get this you know, wherever. Okay, 3/16, 25-foot rolls of it, and you can just make up whatever you want. You buy the little steel nut fittings like this for the ends, like that. Make sure that they are 3/16 thread. These are 3/8 24, but it's a 3/16 what do you call it? 3/16 tube size. Okay, so 3/16, and then they're going to use a 3/8 24. That's the thread size, but the 3/16 is the tube size. So when they're done, they basically look like this. We're going to flare our own double flare. Okay, so this one's going to be made up already. Save me a little time of making flares up. It's plenty long enough. And then the other ones we'll make up as we go. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is tighten all this down and mount it. Okay. So you want to put the bender on there, but you want to keep all this, right, as low as you could, so there's no air in the line.
You don't want anything going higher than your master cylinder.
Yeah, because then you got to worry about it draining back or whatever, but this will be good. So I'm using, that hole was already there, made a hole there, right? So a little 1/4 inch stainless steel, everything stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about nothing rusting. And then the next one's going to go here, drop down into here, and go right along the frame rail. The other one's going to go down, same thing, follow that one, go along the frame rail. One's going to stop here, the other one we're going to send it all the way around.
Okay. I've got a bunch of lines. So, okay.
Okay. Let me make some flares. All right. I've shown this a bunch of times, but we'll do it again for this video for you guys. So, make sure that that's on. We're going to tighten all this. The fitting that you use,
It's already on it, but I thought you meant the other. Make sure you put your fitting.
Make sure you put your fitting on. This is long anyway. I'm going to end up cutting this, but and then you need.
I think it was.
What did I just do with it?
You had it. Oh, maybe put it over there by the wrench.
There it goes. Okay. All right, so this comes with all the different sizes, correct? 3/16. Make sure it's the same height as that first off, right? Put this inside it. Make sure this is tight. Put that on there.
Line that up.
Crank it down till it goes flat. Like that. Now it's flat. Whoops, sorry. So that's flat.
Okay.
Okay. And then you back it off. Take the insert out, right? Now it's a bubble. And then you put this back in it. Center it again. Keep it as straight as you could. Flatten it back out. Take it off. And you got a nice flare.
Okay.
Back this back off. And now you know why I bought one that's already made up, so you don't have to go through all this crap. Okay. And it's harder and harder to find USA threads made up already. Everything's mostly metric. So that's going to go on there, and you're done. This will be one. bring it down. I'm going to end up cutting it a little bit long. Then we'll find out where it's got to get cut and flare the other end.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, so got the heater going. It's damp and cold out. Right now, we're gonna be getting back on this, so I'm gonna start where you're gonna take the door panels off, both sides. He's gonna get like a carbon fiber, just a flat panel that goes over, delete for this. I'm already starting. I'm taking both the mirrors off. They make a carbon fiber panel to cover that. I'm gonna actually take the motor out on the passenger side for the window. We're gonna leave the driver one in though, so that you can reach in, open and close the window if you want. Also, it's nice, you know, when it's a hot day, because you'll start cooking in here. So we're gonna leave this side in, but the passenger side I'm gonna take out. So I'm gonna start just disassembling all this stuff and taking all that apart.
All right. 07 Mustang.
Door panel removal.
Okay.
Same for both sides. We're making a race car out of it, so
We're just going to show you how to take the door panels
this
off.
is coming off, and I'm going to take the window motor out of this one. So there's 7mm, one here. There's a couple on the bottom. There's 3 on the bottom, and then 2 on this side over here. I'm going to take those off first, so I'll do that really quick. There's...
All right, do that first.
I'll do that and then go to the next part.
All right.
There's a cover back here. You're gonna pop that off. Just get a flat screwdriver. There's a Torx. It's a T30. Nope, T27. Okay, you're gonna take that one off. Pop this. This just pops off. Same thing. I want to get this out of the way. That's just so that you can get the cover off. There's one back here. Just same thing. Just pop this out. You gotta try to get behind it. Okay. There's the same thing down in there. Another Torx. This comes off. Okay. This one, the cover is kind of stuck to it. The other side came right off. There it goes. Okay. So once you get that off, pull this piece right here just pops off. There's another 7mm right here. Okay, for that you're gonna take all those out, and then this actually just pops off, slides up. The handle stays and everything. You don't have to take that off or anything. So then you just take all the wires out.
All right.
Let me take these off. Yep, should be.
All right. Pop it.
There it goes. Okay, and then you got your other wires.
Just be careful with this.
Yeah, make sure it goes up and over first.
And the door handle and everything comes off with it.
So
and
then
you
the,
have to unhook it.
this, just get a little needle nose plier or even the flat screwdriver. Push this in. This will pop out, and then you can take it off. There's a couple of plugs. Pretty simple for those. Same thing for this. Okay, this I'll show you real quick. So there's 2 little tabs so that when this pushes in, you can let's see here. Can I get it? Okay. So let's see how that is. There's two little tabs.
Squeeze them.
that just pops off. Okay, so now that door's off. And then I'm going to take all this apart so I can get to the motor.
All right, well,
that just comes off with a 6mm.
so if you got to put it back together, that's how you put it back together. This one's definitely not going back together, so
nope. Get carbon fiber.
Yeah, hope that helps somebody. All right, so we're going to measure the steering column. Needs to drop like 1.5 inches more than where it is right now. 1.5 inches to 2 inches more than where it is right now. So we're going to measure that, and then we're going to strip the interior out. He's already got the door panels off.
I'm going to gut it, even though there's nothing left.
Okay, even though it's not a pro mod, it's getting gutted.
Taking these out.
All these panels are coming off, so we can get the cage in here. That's what we're taking it all apart, because we're going to end up putting a cage in it. So we're waiting on a few things for the front. So while we're waiting, we're not going to waste time and get something else done. So today is kind of like gut the car day. All that bracing is all coming out. He's got a fiberglass or carbon fiber dash coming, so all that's coming out.
I'm gonna take all that apart.
Carpet's coming out. All the rest of the panels, the seat, the emergency brake, everything's coming out. Once we put the cage in here, then we'll run the cage, right? And then the dash bar that goes across, we'll be able to hook the steering column up to where we want it. But we just want to measure it because it's got to get hooked back up, so we don't want to be guessing later. All right, so that's what's happening with the Mustang right now. All right, well, he gutted the snot out of this thing. Finishing up some patchwork, putting them little patches in. It would have been nice if you could have did it now. Look at it, you got all the room in the world.
Yeah, well.
Got all the seatbelt stuff out. Got all that stuff out of there. Took the brake cables off, took the caliper to get the brake cables off, put the wheel back on, got the door panels all off, speakers off, mirrors off. Oh, we'll figure out a way to make a latch for that. And then when we wire the car, we're going to make the windows work. And that's about it. So he's done with that. Now we can, the header bolts should be here tomorrow. Start putting all the headers back in, button up the whole front end, button up the front brakes, get that all set. And then we'll start bending some roll bar. All right, stay tuned.